Welcome back to another episode of the Minds with Hakeem Podcast. I'm here with the one and only Derek. Oh, I almost dropped your middle name. Derek Witt. What's up, brother? How
What's
you
going
doing?
on, bro? What's going on? Appreciate you having me.
I wouldn't do it any justice if I don't start this off with saying word. So, Derek, thank you for being on. Just to kind of set the table, me and Derek is going to have a conversation more so about just pivoted in life. Derek has made a ton of pivots in his life that I think we all can learn from. I know he's learned a ton on his journey. And now wrapping up at the Air Force, you got to correct me when I'm wrong. After serving for almost 8 years, we're going to have this conversation, and I'm looking forward to the next conversation we have on your next journey, which we won't get into a lot of that. But first and foremost, Derek, I want to acknowledge you. Thank you for your service.
Appreciate it.
I know on Veterans Day I didn't send a veteran some money, huh?
That's crazy.
But yeah, I want to acknowledge you for your service, just your commitment to leadership, to helping others, and to your journey, man. It's been a pleasure to watch. It's been an honor to be your friend. You're one of the funniest guys in the world.
That's right.
I know you're super uncomfortable getting praised by me because I'm normally very mean to this guy. But, yeah, I just want to acknowledge you and just tell you I appreciate you as a friend, as a brother. Where's your brother? And sorry. And then I'm looking forward to this conversation, bro.
All right.
You're supposed to say thank you.
I mean, I was getting there. I appreciate you.
All right. So let's get into it. All right. So a little bit, me and D Witt was D Witt. D Witt is his nickname, middle name. Me and Derek was college basketball teammates at Grandview University, which we just had a chance to catch a game last night, the previous night before. We're not going to talk about the result, but it was a chance to get back. So let's start at Grandview real quick with you.
Okay.
Coming from Kirkwood Junior College to Grandview, what is kind of the biggest transition you had in that time frame?
Oh, from Kirkwood to Grandview, honestly, it was getting comfortable with change. And, you know, I thought I'd always been comfortable with change, honestly, from just college or from high school, being from Clinton, Iowa, small town, to even going to Kirkwood. Cedar Rapids is bigger than Clinton by any means, but at Kirkwood, you get comfortable with people. You're there for 2 years, like any junior college, and then move into a bigger university. Generally speaking, at all levels, a university at any size is bigger than a community college.
Yep.
So the campus was different. This team was different. There's just more people in general. Like I already came from a small town, so going from Clinton to Cedar Rapids, that was a jump. And then from Cedar Rapids to Des Moines, like capital of Iowa, a lot of people think Iowa's not that big, but like it's because they don't know.
A lot of people think it ain't black people in
Yeah,
Iowa.
a lot of people think it ain't black people in Iowa, but there's people everywhere. And like, Des Moines is significantly bigger than Cedar Rapids and also bigger than Clinton. So that was a jump for me, getting not really culture shock, as you said, but it just had to get used to seeing all these people and being comfortable with new people. Because like I said, 2 years, you know, you're building those bonds with those teammates that you grinded with, blood, sweat, and tears for 2 years. So moving in, at that time, I was only transferred, I believe. So that was different. And then you got to come in, learn a new system, and learn all these new people. So just had to get comfortable real quick with being uncomfortable in new situations.
Would you consider yourself an introvert or extrovert? I never asked you this, so I'm excited to
I'm an
hear.
extrovert. I think you know I'm an extrovert.
So here's the thing. This is why I was nervous about you saying that. You're very extroverted with people you know. If it's new people, like you saying, that you had to go meet, which I wouldn't say is a challenge for you. It's a challenge for you, in my opinion, because you just don't rock with people like that. I mean, not in a negative way.
I don't think it's about rock with people. It's like, I don't know. Maybe I'm introverted at first because I give people a chance to show who they are. So,
Before
and then if I
indulge.
don't rock with them, it's because they showed me that there's reasons I don't want to rock with you. So I'm extroverted, but I'll be watching how people move, and I don't, you know, like obviously I'm in your friend group for a reason. Our friend group is solid. There's reasons why we stay in this friend group and why we don't branch out too much. I'm not saying it's select, you know, members only, but there's reasons why we don't branch out to other people, because we see how they move. And if I'm not liking that, then I'm just gonna stay away from that. I'm gonna stay with my people, but I'm extroverted when it comes to being with people. Like you said, it comes to being with people that I'm comfortable with.
Sticking with change from Kirkwood, a junior college, to Grandview, a smaller NAI college. You you played basketball for 2 years and 3 years of football. 1 year of football, correct?
Right.
How was that jump?
That
Because
was
that's
different.
a huge pivot.
That was different. I'm not gonna lie. That was different. That was different. And I don't know if I was like nervous at first, but like people don't understand after doing something for so long and then you do something else, like there's gonna be lapses.
So when was the last time you played football before you started back playing at Grandview?
High school, like 2011.
So you took at least 4 years off.
4 years off, right. And like don't get me wrong, like I ended up playing basketball in college, but I had opportunities to play football instead. But I'm like basketball was my first love,
sure.
so I went and did that. So then when
basketball is just cooler. Let's just be honest.
That's fair.
Sorry,
That's
Joe.
fair. So I'm like, talk to coaches, help me out, because I ended up switching majors towards the end of the season, so I had to do an extra semester. But I needed, like, Grandview not cheap.
Grandview was not cheap. We talked about that earlier.
Yeah, Grandview was not cheap. So I'm like, I can't do this like without some type of assistance. So they gave me some money to play football a little bit, which I appreciate, and shout out to them for that. Then I went to the first practices, and I'm out here. And I remember, like, they threw me one pass, I caught it, and then I'm noticing, like, I started dropping some passes. And in my mind, it's like, I remember saying it to my friends, I'm like, yo, like, this, because of football, like, you seen the football, the difference between the football size in football and the size in basketball is significantly different.
It's a massive difference.
Like, when you catch a basketball, I'm used to hands wide, like, bigger than your face. You got to catch a football, it's, hands closed, that's pretty tight. Like, that's a difference. I'm like, the size difference was throwing me off for a while. So it took some time to get used to. And even just the footwork. The footwork is a lot different. Basketball, it's like quick, a lot of strides side to side. Football, the position I was playing was receivers. So
skill position.
Skill position. Like you're more in stride, sprinting, short, choppy steps, which in basketball, you're not really doing that. So like I had to kind of like reset my body, my hips to actually move how I wanted to, how I needed to for me to be.
Weights was a lot different too.
Weights was different.
Because we prepared it with the same strength and conditioning coach under the umbrella, but y'all was doing a lot of different stuff than us as basketball players.
Right. A lot of stuff was more, I seem like in basketball, we was doing a lot of maintenance. Football was more so explosiveness and building a lot of more. To me, it seemed like more plyometrics. Not that they don't do it in basketball, but in football, it's different and it's on a different level.
Yeah, for sure.
So that was, like I was used to weights, but being used to one thing and being used to the same thing on the same program isn't the same. So it took me a little bit to get right with even some of the workouts that I was doing with the football team.
And you know what's funny? Like, you're not going to talk about it because that's just not your character, but I am. In football, you struggle to transition back to that receiver from basketball. But just being who you are, you still found a way to make an impact on that team by blocking kicks. This dude is ridiculous.
Yeah.
Like, you did anything to make a significant difference for the team.
Yeah, I knew like I wasn't gonna come in and be the best football player, like, and that was okay with me.
Yeah,
that was okay. I just
you
wanted
look for that money.
Yeah, like I wanted to get paid, and I wanted to make it worthwhile. Like they invested some money into me, and I didn't want them to have no negative return on investment.
For sure.
So granted, I was nowhere near being the best receiver out there, but I did, like you said, I found a way to bring some worth to the team. So that was really what I was looking for, and I feel like I did that during my time.
Do you regret it?
Playing football?
Yeah.
Not at all. No, that was fun. Like I had fun. Like you know me. One thing I'm always do is find my way to have fun. So that was one thing I wanted to do. And also I was already cool with a lot of the football players. Some people I lived with a couple football players at the time. I just got closer with a lot of people.
I would say at that point in time, most of your friends were football players. Like the only basketball players you really still talk to, it was a select few. It was a small group of us.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah,
but it's more members on the football team.
Definitely.
You going to Thanksgiving at Drew House and stuff
went
like
over
that.
There with Drew,
no invite, Drew. I'm just playing.
The football team was beefing with the basketball team back then, so
we're not going to get into those stories today. That's another scenario.
That's college for you.
That's college. Testosterone is all crazy. But I asked, do you regret it? Because I know this can happen anywhere. Like you trained combat and stuff in the military, but you jack your shoulder up pretty good in football.
Yeah, I did.
In college.
Right.
That's why I asked you regret it. How was rehabbing and recovering from that? Because you didn't require surgery, right?
Correct. No, I didn't need any surgery, but I just had to do some serious rehab. And that, I don't regret it because of that. But, I don't know. It's just that, I still struggle with it to this day. So what had happened was I went up for a pass, and in between me being airborne and coming down, I landed directly on my shoulder. They said I sprained like my AC joint where the shoulder connects.
Nasty.
And like,
Travis was there? Or was it Luke?
Luke
Was a jerk. That guy was a jerk. I don't care
not,
if he
not
sees
fan,
this podcast.
Not a fan.
He was good at his job, though.
Great at his job.
I will say that.
Great
He was
at his
a
job.
mean guy.
Great at his job. Great for first string and second string people. Somebody after that.
He didn't really care about He only want to talk to the stars.
Yeah, so.
Yeah. Shout out Luke.
Yeah, shout out.
I haven't thought about him in a minute. That's funny.
Yeah.
But he popped it. Did he have to pop it back
So
in?
it didn't. I don't know if it actually popped out. But,
Okay.
Because it was still in. By the time I got up and the adrenaline was gone,
Yeah.
it was in. It was just pain. Like,
okay.
I couldn't move it for a while. Was taking off everything with one hand. I was getting assistance, tying my shoes and all that. Sitting in the shower, I couldn't even lift my arm to like scrub myself. So I'm doing everything one handed, all this. But so I just started. I did a little rehab and then just looked up some rehab stuff on my own to get it back right. Because obviously I knew I was gonna be leaving for the military for a boot camp, so I didn't want any issues with that. So
got to pass that physical.
Yeah, which I wasn't really worried about passing the physical, but I was kind of more worried about long term. Which I mean, I ended up making it through. Here I am, almost 8 years later.
Yeah,
not pain free, but whatever. I did everything that it did its job the whole time.
And what year was this when you had the shoulder injury?
2015.
2015.
Yeah.
Gosh, that seemed like it was just last year, bro.
Nah, that seemed like forever ago.
To
me.
you?
Yeah.
I feel like I was just in college last month. I graduated in 18.
Yeah.
This had to be 16. Oh,
no, because I left.
You finished
I finished
at semester.
Yeah, at semester.
Okay.
At winter 2015, I finished.
That makes sense. But now you kind of finishing up football. I want to kind of, which I think is one of the biggest pivots of your life. I remember when we first had this phone call. I couldn't remember if it's a phone call or a conversation. I was shocked. He was like, I think I'm going to the military. I'm like, yo, what? Like, bro, I'm like, dude, no, you got a college degree. I think we was it a president election year? Was that the year Trump won?
I don't
I was
remember.
like, I don't want you serving for him. Like, bro, it was a lot going on, but what kind of went to that decision making? What kind of made you make that leap of faith, that pivot?
So, when I was younger, I had thought like, all right, I'm gonna go. I want to do the military stuff. I don't know. I think I had an uncle who did it. So I'm really from Indiana, and when I was growing up, I had an uncle. I'm pretty sure he was in the Navy, and the Navy they got one of their formal uniforms is an all white thing, and they used to have swords back then. So I seen him in this all white with a sword. Yeah, I seen him all white with a sword. I'm like, that's dope. I want to do that. Yeah, pretty much.
Stay dangerous.
But so I'm like, so I had wanted to do it when I was younger, like middle school. But then I got into basketball pretty heavy, and I'm like, okay, I'm not terrible at this. I might have a future in this.
Sure.
A lot of kids when they grow up, they want to be NBA players. Which I'm not gonna lie, I had that at one dream. Right.
I wanted to.
Yeah, I had that at one time. But like,
we both was trash.
And I knew education was important to my family. I knew my mom wanted me to go to college. I never really thought about anything besides going to college. Like after high school, I'm gonna play basketball and I'm gonna go to college. So that's what I did. But then,
so it was kind of natural, almost in a sense, from what you picked up in the subconscious when you were little from your uncle.
Yeah, I would say that. But then I got to I'm getting close to graduating, and I'm like, I'm still in Iowa, like.
Ill.
Yeah,
hey, like no disrespect.
No disrespect. Yeah. Like I've pretty much lived in Iowa all my life, but I'm just like, there's got to be more than just this.
Gotta get out.
I got to get out. So I'm like, what can I do? Like at that point in my basketball career, I'm like, all right, I played basketball all my life. I'm tired. Like I want to do something different. You could tell, like you could speak
Absolutely.
on that. Like when it came to the end, like when I was playing basketball, I was happy, but like when it was over, you could not get me to you had to
kind of hit this wall of depression. It's like, what's next?
You're right. So I'm like, I got to get out of here. So I'm like, okay, I want to join the military when I was younger. I'm not opposed to it. So I started looking into that. And then I went into the recruiter's office just to get some information. I knew I didn't want to join the Navy, even though
why not?
The swords look cool. But they weren't doing swords anymore.
What they was doing?
They was putting people on a ship in the middle of the ocean, and I'm like, I can swim, but I can't swim that good. So I'm like,
Navy was out.
Navy was out. I wanted no parts of being stuck in a ship, submarine, nothing like that. For like months at end, I'm good. I don't need that. So my top choices for me was the Marines and the Air Force, and then. My neighbor back home in Clinton, he was in the Army, and pretty much everyone I had talked to, Army said, don't go Army. Don't go Army.
Let's not even dig into.
No,
Well,
I don't got to dig into
why?
it. I keep
Why?
it simple. They said when I saw like Army, they get treated the worst. And
Aren't they frontliners?
Yeah, they get treated the worst, and they have the worst experiences. Everyone in the Army that said that got out and was giving me advice, so like if I could do it again, I wouldn't go Army. I'd go Air Force. So I'm like, okay, well, Air Force sounds like it's the way to go.
So you heard it here. Don't go Army. Derek Witt.
Don't go Army unless you want to grind it out and be treated like like you ain't much. Shout out to all the Army brothers, but that wasn't for me.
My brother's Army. My brother-in-law, Tanner.
Okay, yeah. Sounds about it. Yep, I'm trying. But so my top choice was Air Force and the Marines. So I went into the Marines office. I thought I wanted to go Marines, but I went into the Marines office and I'm talking to this dude. It was cool. Like I wasn't set, but I'm like, okay, this is something I could see myself doing. And then kind of left it as he pretty much come back, think about it, come back to me, take your time, take all the time you need, whatever, think about it, and then we could discuss it. That's how we left it. I'm at Grandview walking on campus, coming down, I think it was in the student center.
Yep.
Coming down the steps, the recruiter is standing there. He's like he's asking people like for me, like to come find me. And I'm like, bro, like, what are you doing? Like, you said come back to you after I thought about it. Like,
so he started hunting you.
He started tracking me down. I'm like, yeah, that's
you
it.
were his mission.
Nah.
You were his mission.
Yeah, well, he failed because
he like, Phil, why are you checking for me?
Like, literally, like, why are you checking for me? I was gonna come back and talk some more, but now you here.
Now
like,
I'm off it.
Yeah, I'm off it. That turned me all the way off. So I'm like, I'm done with that. So I ended up going to the Air Force, and I don't regret it. My first base. There was a Marine detachment there, so I did some training with the Marines, and I liked what they were doing. And they're like, wow, we could have seen you in the Marines. Well, I'm like, yeah, you almost had me till...
You almost had me in the first half. Till your man started bounty hunting.
The recruiters started checking for me. So I'm like, it's cool. So I ended up joining the Air Force, and I've had a great time pretty much.
So did you, besides Marine training, and obviously Air Force training, because that's the branch you joined, did you do any training for any other branch? Like, I'm a nerd about Ranger School.
Yeah, so, I know. So there's Army Ranger School. Before you go to Army Ranger School, you have to go to pre-Ranger. And then the Air Force provides you with a Ranger assessment pre-course because it's not impossible for Air Force members to go to Ranger School, for any branch to go to Ranger School. It's just people think the Air Force can't people call the Air Force a chair force because they think we don't do anything, which isn't true. So
I was going to ask you about that.
So to get people ready, the Air Force put together a Ranger assessment pre-course, pretty much. Air Force members who already went through the Ranger School got the tab.
Nice.
Tab is what you wear in a uniform that shows you made it through the course. They started up Ranger assessment pre-course. So I went to that, and my first base, I was stationed in Italy. The course was in Germany, and I don't know. I mean, Germany in January, winter is real over there.
Nasty.
Winter is nasty over there. So
nastier than Iowa.
Maybe not, but I'll tell you why it was worse during this.
Slushy?
I'll tell you why. So I get over there. It's like a 5-day course. So we're flying over there. It's me, four of my boys, which I didn't even want to go to the course in the first place. I got
that
to Italy.
Doesn't surprise me.
I got to Italy in 2017. I was the lowest ranking I'd ever been, and I wasn't making a lot of money. But they're like, okay, pretty much my supervisor calls me and he's like, we're gonna send you to this course, and I'm like, respectfully, why? Like I didn't ask for this.
Questioning authority.
Yeah.
Coach Schaefer would love this.
Yeah, but I did it in the right way. Like
okay.
So he's like, okay, it's pretty much you. We got you and 3 other guys have the best fitness scores in the unit, so we're gonna send you over there to represent. I'm like, all right, that makes sense. If nothing else, I'll learn some new things.
For sure.
So we get over there. Our flight, flying from Italy to Germany, our flight gets delayed. We're supposed to get there like 6 p.m. We don't even end up getting the base till like 10, checking into the unit at like 11:30. So we check in real quick and they're like, all right, showtime in the morning is at 0400, so 4 a.m. I said, oh, God.
Not a morning guy.
Right. So I didn't get no sleep.
And you got to rock and roll, 4 a.m.
Yeah, got to go. So 4 a.m. comes around, like everybody put on your PT gear. So we got PT shorts, shirt, pants, track pants, and a track jacket. Meet over here. I'm like, okay, we go to do this. I'm like, all right, cool. Everybody has their gear on. Take off your pants, take off your jacket. We're about to do this 5-mile run.
Hold up.
At this point, it's 4:30 a.m. It's Germany. It's January. We're doing 5 miles next to a frozen pond. It was freezing outside.
Wait, there was no option to keep your pants on.
No, none at all. None at all. And in my mind, I'm like, why did I pack all this stuff? So through the course, a lot of that stuff we did not even use. We just had it. So I'm running next to this frozen pond. I'm on like mile 4, and I'm like, what
am I doing?
What am I doing? What am I doing?
How did I get here?
Literally. But like, I'll say though, because I didn't really train for it, but like I said, like my fitness was pretty on point at the time.
You always been a gym
Right.
enthusiast.
So my boy, he had been training for this like for a while, and I'm running. And I'm like, this isn't like I'm freezing. Of course, I'm miserable. Yeah. But I'm looking around, and he's nowhere near me.
He's
like,
smoking.
I was smoking him. I was smoking him.
All that training, buddy.
I don't know, and I don't know if it was the weather or what, but I'm just like, he was hanging in there.
I need his name off air. I want to look him up and see how he's
doing. His name. He's out the military already, so it's all good. Yeah. His name is Joseph Hook. That's my boy. Joe,
you got smoked.
He got smoked. He got smoked in more than one event, because I'll tell you the later one.
I got to bring Joe on the pod.
But the thing about these courses, the military course in general, but especially the Army Ranger course, it's real attention to detail. So like I said, we brought a lot of stuff that we didn't even use. Mm-hmm. They had a whole packing list, and all of it was attention to detail. And at the real course, like, they'll say you need all this gear, you need this, this, and this, you need A, B, and C. If you only have A and B, or you have A and C and not B, you can get kicked from the course from that.
Oh, wow.
Like instantly, like that, because you can't follow simple instructions and pay attention to detail. Like, we don't want you. Like, the Army Rangers is like elite, like, so no exceptions. Like, you can't afford to miss a step on stuff like that.
Yep, they are like tip top.
Right. So I got the packing list, got everything on there. So first day after the PT test, we do a bag drag. That's pretty much everybody drop all your stuff. We call out the item on the list, you hold it up. Make sure everybody has all their stuff.
Wait, they really be on that?
100%. Even like, that's not even like, doing a bag drag is like military wide, because like at my last unit, we'll do that for stuff we got to do. There's certain.
That's just protocol.
That's just certain stuff. You got to make sure everything you need, because like at the end of the day, like, this is military. Like, we could be in life or death situations.
Got it.
You don't have your helmet. What good are you to me?
Exactly.
Type stuff.
Which makes sense.
Right. So they do the bag drag. I remember this detail. I remember this like I was there yesterday. So they do the bag drag. All right, hold this up, this up, this up. All right, now hold up your towel, your bath towel. Obviously, we're gonna be working for 5 days straight. You're gonna have to clean yourself.
My boy didn't bring a towel.
Nah. I had a towel. So everybody holds up their towel, and so back then, I had bath towels and I had hand towels that were the same color.
Grab the hand towel.
So I look at my bag, I see everybody else holding up their towel. They got this long, 4-foot towel. I see my hand towel in there, not my bath towel. So I wrap it up real quick, like loosely, so it looks as wide as it looks like it's thick.
Cheating the system.
So I hold it up, and they're like, Witt, like, what is that? I'm like, it's my towel, Sergeant. They said, drop it. It comes to right here. Yo. And this is like our third item. So every item that somebody didn't have, we got smoked. So we had to do push-ups, sit-ups, burpees, air squats.
So they pissed at you.
Yeah. So everybody, they hold it up, it drops. I'm biting my cheeks, because I'm holding in the laugh at this point. I hear everybody smacking their teeth, like, yep. Everybody assumed the position. We did a couple hundred push-ups for that and got back up. I had everything else, but I'll never forget that story. That stuff was so funny. Like, after the fact, looking back, even me and my boys were like, yeah, you was kind of wild for that. Like,
Derek Witt
had to do what you had to do.
Hey, straight bar.
Man, but had to play it out though. Man.
That's hilarious. But you made it through that training. Did that training come with a pay increase?
No. A lot of trainings don't. So how it works, let's say, you come in a certain rank depending on what college credits you have, pretty much. Obviously, I have my degree, which I could have went the officer route, but I went the enlisted route. The more college credits you have, the higher the rank you can get. So I came in at enlisted level 3. Enlisted level 1 through 4, you promote on a time basis. So it's time and service, then you'll promote. Everything after that, you have to test for. So, but all this training you go to, pretty much, it's just more adding to your bag. Nothing really. It's just to help
making you more dangerous.
Right, but it's not helping you promote per se. Like, you don't promote just for going to
You don't rank for training.
Correct. But you can start once I get this training. Like, okay, now I know more. I have more knowledge than the next man, so I can do like leadership. I can start running training. I can start doing things, managing teams, leading teams. So that way, when I go to write my packages for promotion, that it can show, oh, he led this many people, he ran this many events, he manages, he oversees. So that
it factors in.
That factors
to
in.
Like, oh yeah, let's bump him.
Right.
Up.
He looks like he's ready. He might be ready. Granted, you still have to test. You have to test for it, but you can get a promotion statement pretty much saying like, okay, he's ready. My supervisor and then my commander can say how it works is not ready now, promote, not ready now, promote, promote now, and must promote. So must promote is a 5. I got all my EPRs, my enlisted
Nice.
promotion evaluations pretty much. I've gotten a 5, so I've gotten a promote now. So the training doesn't necessarily guarantee that you'll get that, but it sets you up to be in positions to make yourself better, to make the team better, to get the mission done. So, okay, they're like, now he's ready to promote. So it helps you get those promotion statements moving forward.
Got it. All right, wrapping up kind of your time in Germany, what was the biggest lesson, your biggest takeaway from Germany besides the wild parties you used to take? No, just
In Germany in general, or being at that training?
Germany in general. Because then you stay there, or did you come back?
I went back. So, excuse me. I was in Germany. I went in Germany for the training, then I went back to Italy, and then I ended up getting stationed in Germany later down the line.
Okay, so let's talk about your biggest. What are all the places you've been?
Okay, so I was in Italy first, and then I went to South Korea, and then
that was a tough one.
Yeah, and then Germany. And then I deployed to Turkey for 6 months, and then went back to Germany and finished up Germany before I came back to the States.
Copy you. All right, so let's focus on Italy since you was just doing that training there. What was your biggest lesson from Italy to South Korea, like that transition?
I think what I learned the most, honestly, is like I've always been, like all my life I've been on a team, but I learned the importance of functioning well as a team in a different setting than sports. Because like with us, everything is training to be ready and training for a mission. And like, you know, again, it's the military. Like in a real world situation, it's a lot of training, but in a real world situation, we put this training into play, and if somebody falls short, you know, worst case scenario, people die. So so it got to be real important, like paying attention to the details, like. You got to take this stuff seriously, which me coming in at first, like I wasn't really taking it seriously. Like I said, I left to go, I wanted to travel, I wanted to go overseas, I wanted to see the world. That was my focus. I'm like, okay, let me reel myself in a little bit and really like get into what like
people's lives are at stake.
Yeah, like the meat of what's going on. Like I'm not just here to have fun at the end of the day. Like I have a job to do. I have people, like my job is security and law enforcement. Security forces is my job title. So, you know, we got certain people, we got a mission we're protecting. We got protecting people, assets that we have to keep safe. So I really had to, you know, kind of lock in and buy into the mission of what was going on at the time. So
and focus up.
Yeah,
I think it's really dope because like we civilians don't really think about it, but most of the things that the military do is to protect the home front.
Right.
Like you talking about protecting assets in foreign countries or protecting people in foreign countries, which ultimately, if we lose and get breached in that area, let's focus on that area specifically, that opened up doors for other things. So that's crazy how important the military is. And I've just recently became a military nerd, which I listen to a lot of different podcasts. But these guys and yourself talk about, like, a lot of the things y'all do and the big picture of why y'all doing it, because it don't make sense for you to be out there being a special force.
Right.
Like, in South Korea. I'm like, it's not helping me. But y'all protecting the home front in every mission. That's the big end game. It's crazy. Yeah, you didn't really care about basketball. Thanks for letting everybody know that. You didn't take it serious, but you took military serious.
Well, let me just say, when it came to basketball, I was never the best on. I'll be honest, I was never the best on any team that I've been on.
You was probably the most athletic on every team.
Probably the most athletic, and people that played with me would be hard pressed that when I was out there, there was somebody that was outworking me.
Yeah.
It wasn't you, just so you know, because I know you. It wasn't you.
Definitely can outwork this guy on the basketball court. I want to talk real quick about the combat training.
Okay.
I know you are an instructor and you did a lot of jiu-jitsu, which I just started jiu-jitsu, and I can nerd out about that. But what other combat sports did you do besides jiu-jitsu, and when did you start?
So for us, it's just called Air Force Combatives. A lot of groundwork, the hand-to-hand combat stuff. I guess we wouldn't necessarily call it jiu-jitsu, but that's at its base. That's what it is.
Okay.
It's hand-to-hand combat. It's groundwork, stuff like that.
Did y'all have jiu-jitsu instructors teaching it?
So how it works is we have people. So how it works is we'll have people go to a class. Like I had to go to a class and learn from other people that already did the instructors.
For sure.
Now they're instructors. I don't know if it was necessarily. My guess is at its base, whenever the program was made, way before my time. My guess is they did have some civilian law enforcement come in, probably learn some hand-to-hand combat, jiu-jitsu, stuff like that, Krav Maga, teach these Air Force people. Then the Air Force people came together and put together a program, Air Force Combatives, and that's what I went to. So that's what we did. So
it was like a mixture of a lot of things, but jiu-jitsu was at the root of it.
At its base, yeah. Because at the end of the day, like I said, we carry weapons, At any other day, I carry a rifle and I carry a pistol, but, the enemy, the opposition, they're also a military force. They might have the same thing. So
For sure.
We might get tied up, and then you have to go to ground. So we need our people to be able to know, to be able to defend themselves and, neutralize whatever threat is at that time. So that's why we started incorporating the groundwork to the stuff that we're doing.
That's super important. Yeah, I remember listening to a podcast, and they was talking about the Gracie family, who really popularized jiu-jitsu, helped created the UFC. Like, went to the military first and was like, we need to teach you guys how to fight on the ground. This is how much we want. And the military pushed back with them, but ultimately let the Gracie family in and train guys in jiu-jitsu. But I think it's so funny not funny, I think it's so important that you guys know that combat stuff, because being able to do stuff with your hands, you can de-escalate so much that don't have to be lethal on a civilian level. Like, we encounter civilians. I'm sure y'all encountered civilians in every country you went to, but you can de-escalate that stuff. Did you ever have to use that in, like, your civilian street clothes?
Like outside of work?
Yeah, outside of work.
No comment. Because if I was doing outside of work, it's probably some situation I wasn't supposed to be in, so no comment.
No, hey, he plead the fifth. I think, so I just started training, like I was saying, in jiu-jitsu, but I'm in there with one cop. This guy's a cop, and he just became a cop, like, as of recently, but he's training. And I know some states, some, like, police academies pay for their cops to go do jiu-jitsu training, which is awesome, I think. Because you see a lot of police, like, brutality and things like social justice issues that's popping up. If a cop know how to do jiu-jitsu, and let's say a white cop get into it with a black male, and that cop know how to do jiu-jitsu, and there's no chance that cop will hurt that person and be able to fully restrain that person if he's well-versed in jiu-jitsu, if the civilian has no background in jiu-jitsu, or even if he do. Right. Even if he's better than the cop, it's going to be a problem. Like, if he's a better jiu-jitsu fighter than the cop, it's going to be a problem. But it's like, it's so protective, and you know how to, like, get people in positions to restrain them comfortably and not choking them out or doing something. Yeah. And it might, to the naked eye, it might look like brutality, but it's like, so controlled. I want all the cops to know jiu-jitsu. Like, to me, that's important. Yeah. Or a combat sport. So I just wanted to nerd out real quick. He didn't want to talk about that.
But I think it's important for people to know how you call it a combat sport. Not necessarily jiu-jitsu, but anything. Like, one, keeps you physically fit, keeps you healthy. Like, people are dying at young ages of all types of diseases, and half of it is because they're just not moving their body.
100%.
So that
movement is a privilege.
Yeah. Another thing is just protection. If nothing else, you can protect yourself, possibly protect your family in a situation where, if you didn't know that, you guys might be in some type of danger. So it keeps you from that. And also, what I try to, like, when I teach my trainees or my other military members, like, one, it's important for our job, but two, like, it just shows you what's inside of you. It's like when we're doing all these moves, like, walk, crawl, one. I'll explain the move. They'll practice. And then at the end of the day, it's hands-on. They go for a minute. I have them do minute rounds. They're fighting each other, trying to get to the submission. And it shows them. And I don't care, like, if you're 100 pounds, 5'2", and you're going up against a 6-foot person. Because that's the real world. That's the real world. We respond to all types of incidents. Like, it's not always going to be fair. It's not going to be an ideal situation for you. But practice like this is going to show you, like, what you're really made of. What can you do in a situation where you're at a disadvantage. So I think that's good, like, especially for people in the military, but for anybody, a regular civilian, anybody every day, like, any day, somebody that could come up to you that's bigger than you, that's older than you, stronger than you, that wants to put you at a disadvantage or try to hurt you. Yep. And if you do this training, you can say, "Oh no, not today.
No, not today.
I'm going home with my life." Like,
and I think this is a perfect example for me to embarrass myself on my second day training.
Yeah, let's hear it. Talk about it.
You've been rubbing this in my face, but I'm honest with all my friends. But this is why jiu-jitsu is so important. My second day training, I'm rolling with a 61-year-old guy. Chill, bro. He's 61, and like this guy's still in a pretty good shape. He take care of himself, but we rolling and we competing that whole day, and he's taking it slow with me. This guy submitted me 19 times at 61 years old. Now, we're in my home gym. I should have kind of laid the groundwork today. I'm a pretty strong 29-year-old man, and I'm 225 pounds, so I can move some things with my body physically. It was nothing I could do. So, and this guy was 61, like 6'1", he's shorter than me, and he was like 180 pounds, maybe, max. He dominated me. Like, in jiu-jitsu or most combat sports, your size isn't necessarily, like, mostly when we see Americans today, we're like, oh, that guy's 6'5", 230, and that guy's 5'4", 145, he's going to win 10 times out of 10. Jiu-jitsu changes that mold.
Yeah.
Like, you're able to protect yourself. And it's equally important for women, too, because when we talk about women being kidnapped or women being like snatched in garages, parking garages and stuff, those people are looking for easy targets. Right. Any woman who knows an inkling of jiu-jitsu or boxing or Muay Thai, they don't want her because she's going to put up a fight. Mm-hmm. They want the easy grab and go. Right. So I encourage all women too to learn learn something. Mm-hmm. So I need you to teach me some stuff. I got a 61-year-old I'm looking for. I want my lick back. No, but it's a very good. It was humbling for me. It's like, okay, I need this training, and I want to teach my kids and my friends' kids, and I can probably just learn from him and not pay all this money. But he said, "Hey, I charge too. Yeah. I charge too." But all right, so getting a little excited. So let's you kind of talked about health and stuff like that. I want to stay there with you because you've always been like a person who physically took care of themselves as far as eating and working out and stuff like that. We've been a part of an accountability group for like the last 9 months, I would say, if then that's on the low end. How important is you taking care of your fitness and taking care of your body, and then speak to the accountability of having people who hold you accountable afterwards?
It's extremely important to be on top of that. Like, I was like, you're 29, I'm 30. Time is doing nothing but moving forward.
Absolutely.
I'm never going to be any younger than I was. Like, my body's never going to be any younger than right now. So I think it's really important that you got to take care of it. Like, absolutely. Like we talked about, I messed up my shoulder back in 2015. Like, to this day, I still have issues with it. Like, it grinds. Like, it pops. Like, I feel like it's going to pop out of place sometime. But, I do the proper strength training. I do the proper rehab as need be for everything. And I've realized, like, the older I get, I got to take care of my body more. I know we had talked about how important a warm-up is to get
especially
done. Like,
when you get older.
Come on. You can't just be hopping into something. Like, that's bad for your joints, right?
Come on, man.
So that stuff is so important. And I think it's also important, like yes, we have a group chat for accountability, like gym accountability. I think it's important for people to find some type of something other than themselves that holds them accountable. Because at the end of the day, like, by myself, I might fall short. But I got you, I got another person, all these people that are reminding me that, okay, I'm doing this, just motivation. Get everybody holds accountable. I went, you got to go. Like, we got this many people. We got 5 people in our group. I should be seeing 5 people that are checking in, doing their workout and stuff. So that's really helped me. Besides the group I'm in with you, I'm in a couple other ones. Nice. I got a couple of homegirls. Why not? Anybody can do it. Just like, hey, did you work out today? Or send a picture. Everybody send a selfie. I checked in today. Like, what are you doing? There's days that I didn't want to go.
Absolutely.
Like people call me, like, you gotta call people out sometime. Like, this is real world. You gotta call people out. You know personally, I have no problem doing that, and I have called out people in our group. Like,
he's ruthless with it.
Like you said, Sunday, today's Sunday. Like,
13
where you at?
minutes.
13 minutes. Like, 3 minutes later, like, what are we doing? Like, I think that's good. That's healthy. Not everybody likes it, but this is the real world. You're not going to like everything that everybody
And what
does.
I think this is important, too, to say, especially for that person who wants to work out, you don't have to reinvent the wheel. Like, I built a home gym, like me and Sam did, and I have things for me to do, but I can get a full body workout with push-ups, sit-ups, planks, and all body weight stuff. Air squats, body weight squats to me. But you can do, like, your body is enough tool for you to get yourself in a discipline. And I think the accountability piece is important. Because if you, let's say we went to the gym on every day, we absolutely felt like going to the gym. I'd probably go to the gym 10 times a year.
Probably.
Because you don't want to go. It hurts. It sucks. And you make slow gains and you don't see. Like, it took me 9 months to get my abs. Like, like, dude. And I'll be honest with you. I think I told you this a little earlier. My sister-in-law, she had at her rehearsal dinner, she had a cut dress on for her rehearsal dinner. And I saw her abs. And this was last November. And I was like, yo, I have to get abs. Like, she inspired me. But I locked in, and it took me 9 months, and I didn't stop until I could see my abs. But it takes a long time, and I think people don't like that these days. Yeah. And they also think, oh, I got to do barbell squats. I got to do kettlebells. I don't know how to do any of that. Just use your body. Yeah. Like, and just ask for help, too, most importantly. Like, if you don't know how to do stuff.
That's the thing with fitness. You can do a lot. Like you said, you can do a lot with a little. You lift a feather 100 times, your arms are gonna hurt.
Absolutely.
You really don't need anything but your body, and that's what people get. People get turned off from that. Like, oh, I don't want to buy a gym membership. Oh, I don't have enough money to buy weights. You don't need them.
You don't.
You got the body God gave you. Just go move it.
Preach, preach. And then also wanted to piggyback off the accountability piece for, like, not only just gym. Like, I have an accountability piece in every aspect of my life. Business, gym, being a husband. I got some men's in the men's group that will shred me if I'm not taking care of my wife well. Friends, your friends should hold you to a standard. People are like, oh, I don't want to say that because that's my friend. This guy will hold you to a standard. So it's like I want to be around those people who are going to hold me and correct me when I'm wrong or disagree with me when I really think I'm right. Like, I had a take on Twitter the other day, and I sent it directly to you. I'm like, can y'all please disagree with me? I didn't even know if y'all agree with the stance or not, but I knew you were going to be honest and be like, and you were like, no, you tripping. Like, you're completely wrong on this. And we was able to spar with some words and stuff like that. You need that. Like, because I tell people all the time, if the world is 100% like Jjuan, we're in a bad place.
I agree.
We're in a bad place.
I agree.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I agree.
Hold up. All right. Man, I want to be respectful of y'all time. So, with any final things before we get up off of here, I know I want to kind of close it with this too. You're doing a lot of things. I mean, you're starting a new journey, and we're not going to really go too deep into that journey today because it's brand new. You haven't even walked in the doors yet. So it'll be another conversation. But any final remarks you want to leave my community with and stuff like that, because we're really focusing here on leadership and growth mindset. So we're trying to build a community of those people.
Yeah, so just on the growth mindset piece, I got something for leadership, but growth mindset, be honest with your people. Like, accountability, yes, but be honest. Don't be scared to give people the hard truths, and don't be afraid of them giving you the hard truths, because that's how you learn, that's how you grow.
Absolutely.
Find somebody that's, yes, your friends, but find a friend that's not going to sugarcoat stuff for you. Yeah. And then on the leadership piece, find a mentor. Find somebody you can go to for guidance, and then as a mentor, I was like, when I was in a leadership position, I always say, have people under you that do what you tell them because they want to, because they trust you, they respect you, not because you outrank them. I think that's really important to lead from the front. Don't be afraid, even as a leader, don't be afraid to get down and dirty, get in with your people, because that way they'll respect you more, and you'll know more because you'll know what the people at the bottom are doing. You should know what people at every level are doing, because if that person falls out, that's not just somebody that's gone. Like, they might be replaceable, but how soon? Like, we need somebody to be able to step in and do their job. So as a leader, you got to know what's happening in every role, and whatever you're doing, whether that's your company, whether that's your friendship, a business, anything like that, you got to know what the lowest man is doing at all times.
All right, so whatever he just said and you just heard, rewind it, play it back, because that was gold. Witt, you are magic. Thank you for your service, and I look forward to following you on your journey. Love you, brother.
Love you, bro.
Peace. Thank you for tuning into this episode of the Minds with Hakeem podcast with none other than Derek Witt. If you found this conversation enjoyable, please share this with a friend or two. You guys know we'll always deliver the best content we can possibly deliver. Thank you guys so much again for tuning in. And the only way this show grows, if you share it. Looking forward to seeing you guys next time. Peace.